Did Keith Urban just make the biggest mistake of his life by divorcing Nicole Kidman? That's the question fans all over the world are asking as shocking new details about the couple's split emerge. For nearly 2 decades, Keith and Nicole were one of Hollywood's most admired and seemingly stable couples, the kind of relationship that fans dream about. Glamorous red carpet appearances, 2 beautiful daughters, and a love story that seemed untouchable. But behind the perfect Instagram posts and award show smiles, insiders say the reality was far more complicated. Now, months after the divorce was finalized on January 6, 2026, whispers are circulating that Keith might actually regret ending things, and that revelation has sent shockwaves through Nicole's inner circle of fans. Remember the public image. Nicole Kidman, the award-winning actress known for unforgettable roles in Eyes Wide Shut, Moulin Rouge, and countless other films, always exuded poise and elegance. Keith Urban, the Australian-American country music superstar, captured hearts with hits like Messed Up As Me and Baby Girl, while maintaining a charm that made him one of country music's most beloved figures. Together, they seemed like a match made in heaven, combining Hollywood glamour with country music authenticity. Their 19-year marriage was often celebrated as a rare example of love surviving fame, fortune, and public scrutiny. People couldn't help but admire them. 2 successful, passionate individuals building a family and life together, seemingly immune to the pitfalls that claim so many celebrity relationships. But reality is rarely as simple as it seems. Sources now claim that Keith's feelings about the divorce have shifted dramatically in recent weeks. According to insiders, he has begun expressing regret, saying he misses the closeness, the shared laughter, and even the little routines of a life spent with Nicole. Friends report that he's actively asking mutual acquaintances to relay messages to Nicole, hinting at a possible attempt to reconcile. This revelation has left those close to Nicole uneasy. Her friends are reportedly warning her to tread carefully, fearing that lingering emotions and nostalgia might make her vulnerable to being pulled back into a relationship that was officially over just weeks ago. The tension is palpable, both hearts are still involved, but the consequences of giving in to old feelings could be messy, emotionally charged, and complicated by their shared responsibilities as parents. The suspense doesn't end there. The story raises countless questions. Is Keith's regret genuine or driven by loneliness? Will Nicole respond to his outreach, or is she determined to move on? How do you navigate love, regret, and history when the world is watching your every move? Fans are captivated because, at its core, this isn't just celebrity gossip, it's a story about human emotions we can all relate to: love, loss, longing, and the sometimes painful realization that what we thought was over may not be. This opening chapter sets the stage for a story filled with drama, suspense, and emotion. What happened behind the cameras, behind the public appearances, is only now being revealed. And as we dive deeper, you'll discover why Nicole and Keith's story is far from over, why emotions are still running high, and why Hollywood insiders believe this may not be the final chapter in one of the most fascinating celebrity love stories of our time. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's marriage was often held up as one of Hollywood's rare success stories, a union that seemed to combine glamour, talent, and authenticity. From the outside, they appeared untouchable: red carpet appearances, award show moments, public displays of affection, and 2 daughters who embodied their shared love and devotion. Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret were not just children, they were symbols of a partnership that had endured the intense pressures of fame, scrutiny, and demanding careers. Fans marveled at how Nicole and Keith balanced their private and public lives, seeming to navigate the world of celebrity without losing themselves or their family's sense of stability. Nicole Kidman, known worldwide for her Academy Award-winning performances and iconic roles in films like Eyes Wide Shut, Moulin Rouge, and The Hours, has long been admired for her poise, elegance, and professionalism. She has cultivated a career that spans decades, demonstrating versatility and dedication, earning her a reputation as one of the most respected actresses in Hollywood. Meanwhile, Keith Urban rose to stardom as one of country music's most successful and beloved artists. With a series of chart-topping hits, a charming stage presence, and an approachable personality, he captured the hearts of fans worldwide. Their relationship, which began in the mid-2000s, quickly became a beacon of celebrity love, a marriage built on shared passion, mutual admiration, and a deep understanding of each other's worlds. For many, their story seemed perfect. They were partners in both life and public perception. Together, they attended premieres, award shows, and family events, always presenting a united front. Social media often highlighted the sweetness of their relationship. Photos of them laughing, traveling, and enjoying family moments with their daughters painted a picture of harmony. Their fans saw commitment, joy, and love in every gesture. Media outlets frequently praised their enduring romance, noting that it was rare for celebrity couples to sustain such a long and successful marriage without public scandal or drama. However, sources now reveal that the outward image was only part of the story. While Nicole and Keith clearly shared a deep bond and profound affection, insiders suggest that challenges began to emerge over time. Long-term relationships, even those rooted in love, inevitably face pressures balancing individual ambitions, coping with public scrutiny, and maintaining intimacy over nearly 2 decades can be incredibly demanding. Some sources hint that Nicole may have quietly struggled with emotional distance at times, while Keith, committed to his career and creative pursuits, might not have always been attuned to the subtle tensions that grew between them. These challenges, according to insiders, were never dramatic scandals but more nuanced, everyday strains that slowly accumulated, creating cracks beneath the surface of an otherwise enviable union. Despite these challenges, what made their marriage remarkable was their commitment to family and mutual respect. Even as tensions occasionally surfaced, they navigated them privately, protecting their daughters and maintaining public grace. Their story is a reminder that even seemingly perfect celebrity marriages are shaped by human emotion, struggle, and compromise. The admiration of fans, the glitz of Hollywood, and the success of their careers may have made the world believe in a flawless love story, but insiders hint that the reality was far richer, more complex, and ultimately more human. As we move into the next chapter, the divorce filing and the reasons behind it, it becomes clear that this marriage, admired by millions, was filled with both profound love and quiet tension, setting the stage for the emotional drama that would soon follow. In September 2025, Nicole Kidman took a step that stunned fans worldwide. She filed for divorce from Keith Urban. The announcement sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond, leaving admirers of the couple asking a question that has echoed ever since: what went wrong? For nearly 2 decades, Nicole and Keith had been viewed as the gold standard of celebrity marriages. Their union was celebrated for its longevity, mutual support, and ability to survive the intense scrutiny of fame. And yet, despite this outward image of perfection, insiders reveal that the couple had quietly been navigating a complex web of emotional strain for years. The official reason cited in the divorce filing was irreconcilable differences, a phrase that can often mask layers of underlying tension. Those close to Nicole suggest that the decision was not sudden but rather the culmination of months, if not years, of reflection. Long-term relationships, even among the seemingly perfect, are rarely without challenges. For Nicole and Keith, the pressures of high-profile careers, constant public attention, and the demands of raising 2 young daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret, place strains on their daily lives that few outsiders could ever fully appreciate. Friends and family reportedly observed Nicole quietly grappling with her emotions, weighing the happiness of her family against her own need for personal fulfillment. Despite their love for each other, sources indicate that subtle emotional distance had been creeping in. Nicole, known for her grace and composure, may have felt increasingly isolated at times, longing for connection that was harder to maintain amidst the whirlwind of celebrity life. Keith, deeply committed to his music career, was often on tour or immersed in creative projects, which may have inadvertently contributed to moments of disconnect. Insiders emphasize that this was not about any single event or scandal but rather a slow accumulation of challenges that ultimately led to the filing. The divorce, therefore, was as much about personal growth and self-preservation as it was about the end of a chapter in their shared life story. By January 6, 2026, the divorce was finalized, legally closing the door on their 19-year marriage. However, legal closure did not erase the emotional complexity of the situation. Friends of both Nicole and Keith report that emotions remain high, with lingering feelings of attachment, nostalgia, and even regret. The finalized divorce marked the end of a legal partnership, but the human connections, the shared memories, deep bonds, and emotional ties remain vivid and unresolved. For Nicole, moving forward is both a personal journey and a delicate balancing act, as she navigates her own emotional healing while ensuring stability for her daughters. The timing of the divorce also intensified public intrigue. Nicole and Keith were admired not just for their accomplishments, but for the way they seemed to maintain a stable family life in the face of intense media attention. Now, the public was confronted with the reality that even this seemingly flawless union had its challenges. Fans and insiders alike are left questioning what comes next. How do 2 people who shared nearly 2 decades of life together process the end of a marriage, especially when lingering feelings and unspoken regrets remain? Ultimately, the filing and finalization of the divorce set the stage for the emotional drama that continues to unfold. It revealed a deeper truth behind the polished public image, that love, even at the highest levels of fame, is fragile, complex, and often fraught with challenges that only those closest to the story can truly understand. And as the next chapters reveal Nicole's emotional journey and Keith's growing regret, the story becomes a compelling tale of human vulnerability, introspection, and the sometimes painful reality of ending a long-term relationship. While Nicole Kidman has been quietly navigating her emotions since the divorce, insiders reveal that Keith Urban's journey has taken a dramatically different turn, one filled with remorse, reflection, and a possible desire for reconciliation. Sources close to the country music superstar superstar describe a man who has spent the weeks following the divorce in a state of profound introspection, realizing that ending a nearly 2-decade-long marriage may have been a mistake. Friends say Keith's attitude has shifted dramatically, of complete 180, as he confronts the emotions that come with losing someone who has been central to his life, his identity, and his family. For Keith, the divorce is not just about the end of a relationship. It is about losing a partnership that shaped his life in countless ways. Friends report that he has been openly expressing regret, acknowledging the deep bond he shared with Nicole and reflecting on moments that, in hindsight, he wishes he had handled differently. From small, everyday routines to major life milestones, Keith is said to be revisiting memories that highlight the depth and significance of their shared years. This introspection has reportedly sparked a sense of urgency, compelling him to consider reaching out and attempting to rebuild what was lost. Insiders claim he has been asking mutual friends to relay messages to Nicole, signaling that he wants another chance, a bold move that underscores the sincerity of his feelings but also raises questions about timing, intent, and consequences. Keith's remorse has created a wave of tension among those close to Nicole. Friends are reportedly wary of the impact his actions might have, fearing that nostalgia and unresolved feelings could draw Nicole back into a situation that ended for real reasons. While Keith's feelings may be genuine, the dynamics are complicated by the history of the relationship, the reasons for the divorce, and the practical considerations of co-parenting 2 daughters. Every outreach, every expression of regret, carries weight not just emotionally, but in terms of how it could influence Nicole's decisions moving forward. What makes this chapter particularly suspenseful is the timing. Keith's remorse is reportedly strongest now, after the finalization of the divorce, which means he is experiencing the reality of life without Nicole in ways that may not have been fully felt during the separation process. Insiders hint that the regret stems from the sudden absence of daily companionship, shared experiences, and emotional intimacy, elements that are often most appreciated only after they are gone. His reflection appears to be a mix of love, longing, and recognition of what the two of them built together: a family, a life, and nearly 20 years of shared memories. Fans and observers are captivated by this narrative because it reveals a deeply human side of celebrity life, the struggle of reconciling personal decisions with the reality of lost love. Keith Urban's regret is not just gossip. It is a story about emotional vulnerability, self-awareness, and the complexities of relationships. The uncertainty is compelling. Will Nicole respond to Keith's gestures? Can the bond they shared survive the fractures that led to the divorce? Or is this remorse a bittersweet acknowledgement of a chapter that has truly ended? This unfolding story of Keith's regret adds a layer of suspense that keeps everyone, friends, family, and fans alike, watching closely. It's a tale of love, mistakes, and the possibility of second chances, making the narrative not only emotionally engaging but deeply relatable. As we move forward into the next chapter, the concerns and warnings of Nicole's friends, the stakes continue to rise, highlighting the fragile balance between heart, history, and hope in the aftermath of a high-profile break. While the spotlight often focuses on Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban themselves, insiders reveal that their friends and family are playing a crucial, and sometimes tense, role in the aftermath of the divorce. For those closest to Nicole, the unfolding drama is far from theoretical. It is personal, emotional, and fraught with the worry that her heart could be pulled back into a situation she has already tried to move past. Friends have reportedly been urging caution, highlighting the risks of allowing nostalgia or lingering affection to influence her decisions, especially now that Keith is reportedly expressing remorse and attempting to reach out. This delicate balancing act, supporting a loved one while protecting them from emotional pitfalls, adds a layer of tension that is both real and compelling. Insiders describe the friends' position as complicated. On one hand, they recognize the authenticity of Nicole's emotions, the love she once shared with Keith, the memories of nearly 2 decades together, and the family they built, including their daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret. On the other hand, they understand why the divorce occurred in the first place and the potential consequences of revisiting a relationship that ended due to fundamental differences. Friends reportedly find themselves in the difficult position of watching Nicole navigate her feelings, hoping to provide guidance without overstepping boundaries or making her feel constrained. It is a situation filled with tension because every choice she makes now could have lasting emotional repercussions. Sources also note that Keith's outreach has intensified these concerns. Friends fear that repeated expressions of regret, combined with the pull of nostalgia, could create a scenario where Nicole is tempted to reconsider reconciliation despite the realities that led to the divorce. They worry that past conflicts, emotional distance, and differences that contributed to the separation might be overshadowed by sentimentality. For them, the stakes are high. The potential for heartbreak, disappointment, or repeated patterns is very real. Friends reportedly speak candidly with Nicole, emphasizing caution, self-reflection, and awareness of her own needs as she navigates this complex emotional landscape. The tension is heightened by the fact that Nicole and Keith share 2 young children, which means that their lives will continue to intersect regardless of romantic reconciliation. Co-parenting requires communication, compromise, and collaboration, and every interaction carries emotional weight. Friends are acutely aware that these ongoing connections could reignite feelings or blur boundaries, making it even more critical for Nicole to maintain clarity. In addition, the public spotlight amplifies the stakes. Every decision, appearance, or social media post is scrutinized by fans and media outlets, which can add pressure and emotional strain. Friends are trying to shield Nicole from the intrusive gaze of the public while ensuring that she makes choices based on her true feelings rather than external influence. Ultimately, the concern and tension among friends reveal a deeply human element of this story. Love is not just about the couple, it ripples outward, affecting those who care for them. The uncertainty of Nicole and Keith's situation, combined with lingering emotions and Keith's newfound regret, creates a suspenseful dynamic that keeps everyone, friends, family, and fans alike, on edge. Will Nicole heed the advice of her inner circle, or will the pull of past love and Keith's remorse be too strong to resist? This chapter underscores the fragile balance between emotion, history, and guidance, making the story not only about celebrity drama but about the intricate, relatable challenges of human relationships. With the divorce finalized and Keith Urban reportedly expressing deep regret, speculation about a potential reunion with Nicole Kidman has exploded across media outlets and fan communities. Every interaction, glance, and social media post is now being analyzed for hidden meaning. Sources claim that Keith's remorse is genuine, but insiders are careful to frame this within the uncertainty of human emotion. Feelings of regret do not automatically lead to reconciliation, especially when years of challenges and irreconcilable differences were the reasons for the split in the first place. Fans, friends, and the public are caught in a suspenseful wait-and-see moment, with questions about what might happen next dominating conversations. Reports indicate that Keith has been making efforts to communicate with Nicole, asking mutual friends to pass messages suggesting he wants another chance. This has naturally fueled speculation about whether a second chance is even possible. Some insiders hint that Keith's gestures are heartfelt, driven by nostalgia, love, and perhaps the sudden realization of what he's lost. Others caution that these overtures may be complicated by the very practical and emotional realities that led to the divorce. There is a tension between desire and practicality, emotion and reason, creating a narrative that is equal parts romantic intrigue and psychological drama. Meanwhile, Nicole's friends are reportedly wary of how this speculation could influence her. Sources emphasize that while it's natural to reflect on past love, making decisions based solely on emotion could risk repeating past mistakes. Friends are advising her to consider her personal growth, the stability of her family, and the practical realities of co-parenting with Keith before making any decisions. They worry that the public attention surrounding the story could further cloud judgment, turning private emotions into a spectacle that adds pressure rather than clarity. Every public appearance, subtle smile, or seemingly casual social media interaction is scrutinized by fans, fueling more speculation and keeping the tension high. The speculation isn't just limited to friends and media. Fans have been quick to weigh in, sharing opinions, hopes, and fears across social platforms. Some believe that the couple's enduring love story could see a second chapter, citing their long history, deep bond, and shared parenting responsibilities. Others argue that the divorce happened for a reason, emphasizing that Keith's regret, while understandable, does not erase years of challenges or differences that ultimately led Nicole to file for separation. This divide in public opinion mirrors the uncertainty that exists behind the scenes, making the situation as much about perception as it is about reality. What makes this chapter especially compelling is the human side of the story. Beyond headlines and rumors lies a tale of two people grappling with the complex realities of love, loss, and emotional vulnerability. The narrative highlights how even in a world of fame and glamour, emotions remain deeply human, fraught with tension, longing, and hope. Nicole and Keith's story captures the imagination precisely because it reflects something universal: the uncertainty of relationships, the struggle to move forward, and the magnetic pull of a love that has endured decades. As speculation continues to swirl, the story remains far from over. Every move, every conversation, every quiet reflection could shift the narrative. Fans, friends, and insiders are left waiting with bated breath. Will this be a story of rekindled romance, or is it a bittersweet reminder that even enduring love cannot always overcome the realities that life imposes? The suspense is real, the emotions are raw, and the next chapter is anyone's guess, making this one of the most compelling celebrity narratives in recent memory. As we reach the conclusion of this dramatic chapter in the lives of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, it becomes clear that this story is far more than just a celebrity divorce. It's a tale of human emotion, love, regret, and the complexities that accompany long-term relationships. The divorce, finalized on January 6, 2026, officially marked the end of a nearly two-decade-long marriage, but as insiders and friends reveal, the emotional currents beneath the surface remain turbulent. Keith's remorse, Nicole's lingering affection, and the warnings from those closest to her create a suspenseful tension that is both relatable and captivating, demonstrating that even Hollywood's brightest stars are not immune to the struggles of the human heart. Keith's newfound regret has added a layer of complexity to the narrative. Sources suggest he has been reaching out through mutual friends, expressing a desire to reconnect and signaling that he wants another chance with Nicole. This revelation has caused a stir among Nicole's inner circle, who worry that emotions and nostalgia could cloud her judgment. Friends are reportedly emphasizing caution, reminding her to consider not only her feelings but also the practical realities of co-parenting, emotional stability, and the lessons learned during their marriage. The tension between old love and new independence creates a narrative that is unpredictable, emotionally charged, and deeply human. It's a reminder that love, even after decades, can leave a lasting imprint on the heart. Meanwhile, Nicole's emotional journey is equally compelling. Behind the public-facing grace and composure, she is navigating the delicate balance between moving forward and honoring the deep connection she once shared with Keith. Nostalgia, memories of shared experiences, and the bond of parenthood all intersect to create a complex emotional landscape. Friends and family are closely monitoring her reactions, knowing that every choice carries weight and consequence. The suspense comes not only from Keith's actions but also from Nicole's internal struggle. Will she allow herself to be pulled back into the past, or will she continue forging her own path? This dynamic keeps audiences guessing, invested, and emotionally connected to the unfolding story. Adding to the intrigue is the public speculation and fan discourse surrounding the couple. Social media, media outlets, and fan communities are dissecting every interaction, interpreting small gestures as signs of potential reconciliation. Some fans hope for a rekindling of one of Hollywood's most admired love stories, while others warn that the divorce was finalized for valid reasons and that Keith's regret, while understandable, does not erase the challenges that led to the split. The ongoing speculation only heightens the drama, keeping both insiders and the public on edge as the story continues to unfold. Ultimately, the story of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban is about more than just celebrity drama. It is a story of love, regret, human vulnerability, and the complexities of navigating relationships that span decades. Keith regrets the breakup, Nicole's heart is still involved, and friends are carefully watching every move, all while the public waits for the next twist in this emotionally charged narrative. Will they give love another chance? Or will this chapter remain a bittersweet reminder of what once was? The answer is uncertain, and that suspense is what keeps everyone watching, thinking, and emotionally invested. As we close this chapter, one thing is certain: the story of Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban is far from over. Fans, friends, and the public alike will be watching closely, waiting for every subtle signal, every shared glance, and every whispered message. What do you think? Should they try again, or let this love story remain in the past? Comment below and share your thoughts, because in the world of Hollywood love, the next chapter is anyone's guess.